Hey, Knights fans, back for the first time this season with Coach Greg Herenda as the team just completed its first official training camp of the new year here in practice, as you call it. I know as a coach, the games are fun for the players. As a coach, this is where you really like to get stuff in, and this is the part that excites you the most.
Absolutely. Let me clarify this now, Brian. This is our training camp. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is where we kind of put in our foundation, our defenses, our core beliefs and drills, and then we start our first official practice on Wednesday. So this training camp we've been doing for a bunch of years, and it just kind of aligns with the NBA training camp, and our kids get excited about it. But yeah, as a coach, to be on the floor now instead of being, in an office or just having these guys for 2 hours a week, to have them for 2 hours today was exciting. We have we have 4 newcomers, 3 freshmen that catch on really, really well. But we had a very competitive, vibrant. You were here. It was a great practice, first great day of our camp.
Yeah, so you can definitely tell the guys are hungry, and they worked really hard today and for this first training camp of the year. Talk about this roster just on the whole. You have a great balance of some veterans. You talked about a couple of the newcomers. What have you seen in these early stages in these workouts and in practice?
Kind of what you see is what you get. Darnell and Mike they feel like, I think they're going to be here next year and all the years. They've been here for all of my years except for, one or two. I'm not even sure now, but they're staples of our programs. They're 2 of the better players in our league, and they just work really hard. Then you go to the other end, and our freshmen, BJ, Brandon, Mark Datica, and Big O, and Oscar, we have youth and life and exuberance. And in the middle, we've got a lot of good pieces. Caleb Bishop is a really good piece, Elijah Williams. Now it's the coming out party for Xavier Malone. So we have a lot of, Tyler Jones. We've got good players from 1 to 13, and it's just exciting to see them all together today. The only guy that didn't go full was Pat McNamara, but he's coming along well. So it's just exciting to see the whole group together as a team. Today we took our first step together.
Yes, and you talked about those leaders, specifically Darnell Edge, Mike Holloway. They were named team captains. That came out today.
Yes.
The 2 of the seniors on this team, guys that have been through it. They won the NEC title their first year. I know they like to get the bookend here.
Right.
Just talk about their leadership with this program and your thought process in naming them as team captains.
It's funny because they got to be captains in totally different ways. Mike from day one was our center, our focal point in the paint, and Darnell was behind Stephon Jiggets and Darian Anderson, and now it's Darnell and Mike's team. One is a tremendous perimeter player, and one's a big-time rebounder, shot blocker, scorer. Mike is a very underrated player, and people want more out of him, and no one wants more out of Mike than Mike. But Mike's numbers right now and when he's done here are going to be historic. So I never take Mike Holloway for granted. I don't take Darnell Edge for granted. So we have 2 really good, not only captains, but leaders and tremendous role models for our university and our basketball program.
Yeah, you talked about it. It does feel like those guys have been here forever. Mike's one of, I think, 30 guys to get 1,000 points and 500 rebounds as an NEC player. Yes. Darnell obviously led the country in free throw percentage last year. It does feel like because they've been such contributors for their 4 years, they've really been a staple for this program.
And again, this is the beginning of my 6th year, and they've been here 4 out of the 5. So yeah, and I think what's happening is you can just see the torch being passed. From Sid Sanders to Mustafa Jones to Darian Anderson to Darnell Edge, and the one guy I didn't mention in that whole little clip before was Jaleel Jenkins, who is a terrific. I mean, I can't say enough about Jaleel as a young man, but as a player, he'll be one of the top point guards in our conference, and I like him as one of the best point guards eventually on this East Coast. He is lightning. He guards. He goes by people. His shot is improving, and he's a leader and a warrior. And it just exudes off his uniform and off of his being. So we've got a lot of parts, but we have a lot of work to do. But, today you have to get it off the ground, and we got it off the ground.
Definitely. And we'll have plenty of time, obviously, to dive into this roster more and as the season approaches. But one thing that jumped out at me sitting courtside today was the athleticism. I mean, I've seen a lot of these guys, and we've seen Jaleel, but some of the newcomers, BJ, and now that you have Xavier Malone in the fold, I mean, these guys are highlight reel dunks and speed, and I know that pleases you with your style of play.
I guess it's the antithesis of my game. When I played on the floor, and I looked up, and now I'm looking up as a coach, and I like what I see. But we've got to get better fundamentally, we got to get better defensively, rebound. I think every coach in America is saying that, and I'm just glad that we have kids that listen and love it and that want to learn. And, today we had Tom Glynn from Rhode Island College here, who's one of my assistant coaches at UMass Lowell, and he doesn't get over how everything stays the same. The players change, but our program just sustained itself and our drills and our competition. But you're right, Brian, you hit it on the head. We're way more athletic than we were the last year or the year before, so we're going in the right direction. And I just want our fans to understand, before you know it, this Burgundy and Blue is going to be October 20th, and it's going to be a great day for our alums to come out. It's the Rich Conrad Memorial Burgundy and Blue scrimmage, and that'll be our first kind of opening to the public. But our practices are open, so if people want to come, they can come, and they sit courtside, and it doesn't cost anything either, and it's a lot of fun. You can attest to that.
That's definitely, a lot of fun. You get to see some highlight reel stuff, even though it is practice. As Coach alluded to, we will have the Burgundy and Blue annual scrimmage, which is in honor of Rich Conrad. There'll be something else for the students where they'll have a dunk contest and some other events that are on the calendar.
Is that secret yet, or is it coming out soon?
It's coming out soon. I don't think there's a hard date on that, so that's all still tentative. But obviously,
we'll let you know about it.
Yes, definitely. You won't be kept in the dark there. And obviously, as the season approaches, they'll see the schedule and everything else, and more reporting back here. Any last thoughts for this first time out?
I just feel good about basketball. It's early. It used to be October 15th, and now today it's September 28th. But basketball it's right around the corner, and we're excited. And I know you are too. You were pumped up today.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know that. I'm always bringing the energy. So. Right. All right, so make sure you check back to FDUnites.com as you follow all things with the FDU men's basketball team.